The Shock Therapy Podcast.
It's that boom, 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 boom.
At that point, electric current is passed between the electrodes in the head.
That shit just kicked in. I just feel like I smoked 1,000 blunts.
For discovery brings with it the penalties of society. Shame, arrest, prison.
Oh, sorry, I was taking life seriously.
I'm over the end dangerous territory. This is dangerous territory right here. I'm in.
I don't know what psychotic means, really.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to the Shock Therapy Podcast for Tuesday, November 10th. I'm your host, Carson McGregor, and today I'm very excited about a special guest, my buddy, Uncle Bhomas.
Fuck. God. This fucking rug, man, I'm telling you.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I tried to slide in the frame and make it look cool, but I don't have one of those plastic sheets under me, so I can't roll.
Yeah, he told me he was going to do that, and so, I mean, I just heard him go, fuck, and now, yeah, like, I knew something had to go wrong.
Yeah, but, yeah, I mean...
No, glad to have you on, man. I haven't really had many guests on this podcast, because... with the distance in general, it's kind of hard. You know, you people listening and watching, you guys don't know the struggle that it is to record a podcast when you're in two different locations, especially when you have no idea what you're doing. And
yeah. I'm literally recording on my laptop, and this is a tapestry behind me for a background. So
hey, you got
definitely pro strat.
You got
pro
me beat.
stratus.
I mean, like, you got that fucking, you know, Pebble Beach tapestry, and I just got, like, a black and gray. My shit's boring.
Nah, it's what's up, dude. It's OG.
Yeah, this is going to be like, you remember Ray William Johnson?
Dude, yeah. You know what's crazy about him? He did, like, I saw him on TikTok. He has his TikTok channel, and he literally just roasts people. Every day.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. He looks exactly the same. Which
that's so weird.
Mind-boggling. Yeah.
I always wonder what those people, like people that were like big at one point on YouTube and they kind of aren't anymore. Like, do they do comedy? Do they like what do they do?
I honestly just like reach for scraps. Really, like, you remember when all the Viners, they just like went to YouTube, and now there's fucking 30-minute YouTube compilations of best fucking Vines.
Yeah.
I am afraid of the day that when TikTok gets shut down or gets bought out by like Twitter or some shit.
Yeah.
That all you're going to see on YouTube is TikTok compilations of, best TikTok compilations ever.
I mean, that already exists on YouTube.
That's so true. Yeah, I didn't even really think about that.
Because it's like for people that are too lazy to develop a feed that they want to see. So they're like, fuck it, I'm just going to let somebody else curate this for me.
Yeah. This guy that's like, yeah, I don't want to make my own content, so I'm just going to steal it from other people.
Dude, that
put it on a different platform.
That pisses me off to no end, that you can make so much money doing that too. You can just make crazy racks, just making like top 10 videos on YouTube, like top 10 scary stories from Reddit. It's like, and you're not even providing real commentary. You're just saying what they are.
Yeah. You could literally make money from fucking the dumbest things. It's crazy. You know what is also crazy? Don't ask me how I know this, right?
What?
But bull semen cost $1,000 a pint. Last time I checked.
$1,000 a pint?
Yeah. And it's because, like, it's so, like, cows in general are very expensive, like, horses. I don't know if any of this is like factually right? But
I mean,
like it's
they have to
almost
be.
like breeding horses. Yeah, it's like the horse business.
Yeah. I mean, like,
Which is
but here's the thing: you buy that's a great investment, though. You buy one bowl and you just keep beating it.
this is a great topic.
Just as it was about to come out of my mouth, I was like, that's a terrible thing to say. But yeah, no, if you just buy a bowl and you just keep beating his meat, you could that's like an oil rig in your backyard.
Literally. Yeah, all you gotta do is feed it like hay or grass.
Yeah, you don't even have to feed them. It's just like what's already in your lawn. That's what it eats.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you probably have to feed them decent shit, like, specific types of grains and stuff, because you want like a healthy bull, because nobody's gonna buy your like weak ass bull semen.
That's very true.
Unless you like do some discount shit. It's like, look, I'm undercutting everybody. Like, I don't have the best bull semen, but it's $500 a pint.
Like on the low, selling this shit under the table, okay?
But this also
government
depends,
doesn't know about it.
This also depends entirely on how much semen comes out of a bull per event.
Yeah,
like do they nut in full pints at a time?
Because if so, that would honestly be like the easiest fucking job. I mean, it would fucking suck because you're like, fucking jerking off a bull, but like making racks.
But once you get past it, like once you kind of get past the initial like gross out factor, it's like, yeah, this is just like printing money.
Yeah. Or like cleaning up crime scenes.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like cleaning up crime scenes. Like, at first it's like, oh, it's like spooky, but then you get used to it.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, it doesn't faze me, but it's like someone was like murdered while you're cleaning. I don't know.
That is a weird job to be like a crime scene. Not the investigator, not the person that's trying to like figure out all the clues. Because like once you get into that, you're like, oh, I'm doing a good thing. I'm trying to track down the killer. But if you're just the guy that has to come in later and mop.
Yeah, like the fucking janitor.
Like you're just the dude with the Swiffer at the crime scene.
Oh my god.
That's a rough gig to have. You think you need to go to college for that?
Oh, definitely not. I don't think so. It's just cleaning. You just gotta know how to like clean blood, I guess. I don't know.
But is there like a separate police department? Like, hey, we're the department of like cleaning shit up.
Yeah. Yeah, like the FBI just sends them. They're government funded.
It's like John Wick, like in the first John Wick, or I guess in all of them. There's the cleanup crew, and you give them like 2 of those Hitman currency coins, and they just clean up your whole crime scene, take care of it.
Yeah, that's so true. Or like in the Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Well, like that one fucking episode.
Well, that's like a whole job in the criminal element. Is like there has to be like a fixer. I mean, the Pulp Fiction did it too. Like that was like a big part of the plot in Pulp Fiction. Is like the wolf. Like his whole thing is he comes in and he fixes problems. Like when you shoot a guy in the head on the freeway, he'll come in and he'll give you some like volleyball shorts and clean the blood out your car, and everything's gonna be cool.
Yeah, and then you got an alibi.
I don't know if you necessarily have an alibi. Like, I think if the cops show up, like, no matter how good your fixer is, like, if the cops show up in a reasonable amount of time, like, what are you even gonna say?
Wasn't me. I'm telling you, officer, I know this looks sus, but it wasn't me.
Do you think that's like an insurance policy that those, fixers give their clients? Like, look, I will get you out of this jam and if I don't, I will take the charges.
Yeah, you're just like running a really risky business.
That is quite a risky business right there. Like, if you don't do perfectly at your job once, you
Yeah.
just cop a murder charge.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you miss like a speck of blood. And you're like, I'm sorry, dude. I'll lock you up.
I mean, you can probably charge like a pretty high dollar for that. I mean, that's a thing in like in I don't want to say gangs, but it definitely is in gang. Like, rappers have those guys for sure. Like, and celebrities have those guys that if they ever were to get in some hot water, they have somebody that'll take the fall for them. Like, they have like a jail guy.
Well, I feel like it's just like because they're part of the Illuminati.
What?
That's why. All these celebrities that are part of the Illuminati, like they just like they could do anything, and it's just backed up by the Illuminati. I'm telling you, because they control the world banks and the media. You're hearing it. You're hearing it first.
You think you're the first person that said that?
Definitely not.
Breaking news: the Illuminati is controlling the media.
Breaking news. How are we so stupid? We never thought of this.
We never connected these dots. We thought they were nice guys. That's my theory on the Illuminati, is that they're real, but they're like chill. Like, they're not doing all this crazy shit. They're just, hanging out.
Yeah, the Illuminati are the good guys. That's what we just don't know.
Then who are the bad guys?
Do you think the government is connected to the Illuminati?
No.
Because if not, then the government.
Well, in a real sense, like, if there is some sort of like shadow organization that really controls what goes on in the world, like, I don't think the government is necessarily connected in a way where they're like buddy. I think the government's more like, people put in places by the people in power.
Yeah.
And
do you think
like,
it's like
Donald Trump was just to fuck with everybody?
Yeah. Like puppets.
No, but what were you saying?
What was I fucking saying? Oh yeah. Talking about semen, right?
Right.
It's November, guys. I think we all know what that means, right? It's not November. And honestly, that's how it fucking should be, because masturbation is a sin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
a crime against God.
Yeah, and this month should be sacred. 100%.
Yeah, I'm surprised like the Catholics haven't co-opted No Nut November.
Yeah, right? Like, there's untapped potential that the Catholics are just losing. Like, come on. You know what's so funny about that is, like, I always love it when, like, some of these, like, women, they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm so connected with God, but then, like, fuck, like 10 guys, and then it's like you're so close with God, but you're committing premarital sex. Like, get out of here.
Dude, that is such a conundrum I feel like religious people go through, is like, what sins are really the bad ones? Like, if you're a Christian, but like, a 1 foot on base type of Christian, where it's like, yeah, I believe in it, but like, I'm not gonna, think about it all the time. I got other shit to do, which is, I think, most Christians. Then you're doing sinful shit pretty consistently. Like, if you're going by like how most people would interpret the Bible, Like, there's a lot of
Yeah.
things that we do that are just sinful as fuck.
Yeah.
And you kind of just have to differentiate of like, all right, this one's fine because like I say it's fine. I really have no rationale, but like I want to do it and
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, like religion, like I feel like you don't. I don't know. Like, why do you have to take it like so like straight to the point? Like, I don't know. You know what's crazy is like, back in the day in like Roman times, um, the Catholic Church would like make people pay for their sins, right?
yeah.
And it mind boggles me because it's like, what a fucking scam. You're just bringing this shit up like, oh yeah, like you don't know what happens when you die, so like this is what happens and you gotta pay me to pay off something that you did so you can get there. It's like,
Well, that's
give me a
why
fucking break.
L. Ron Hubbard was like honestly a genius. Like he was a piece of shit as a person. Like it's pretty documented how much of a piece of shit that guy was, but like his idea was pretty genius. Like,
I don't know who that is.
L.
I'm gonna
Ron
be
Hubbard?
honest.
He was the
Yeah, no.
founder of Scientology.
Oh,
Yeah. Like the dude basically made a religion. Cuz like no religions are modern. No religions like just happened. Like Christianity is
well,
old as fuck. Like Islam is old as fuck. Like they're all pretty old.
I mean, that's like debatable because, like, you know how they say, like, for a religion to form, there must be a cult with a leader.
Yeah.
So basically, like, Christianity and, like, anything that believes in, like, or really just like Christianity. It started as a cult because you're following someone. So,
Yeah.
I mean, technically, you could say, like, Jonestown could
Yeah, but like
be.
but cults as we know them, like the scary version of cults that like Jonestown, David Koresh,
Yeah.
Marshall Applewhite, just all these cult leaders all end up dying, like killing themselves, killing their followers. Their death, destruction, or jail time is how it always ends up. And L. Ron Hubbard, he did it the right way because he didn't start it as a thing like, all right, this is like a religion, you have to follow me, and these are the strict guidelines of this religion. He started it as like a self-help thing. Like this is how you can get your mind straight. Like if you're going through stress, if you don't know what your direction is in life, like we can help get you straight. And he didn't pitch it as a religion. It was more of like a a mental health treatment. And people just got so invested in this like effect it had on them. But it's just what's the I'm blanking on the name of it. The sugar pill thing where you take a pill that doesn't really do anything, but
Placebo.
yeah, placebo. Basically, it was the placebo of it. Is they're telling you this is working, so you believe it's working. And he sold it so fucking well that he got people to buy into it, literally buy with money. So they paid this religion, this not religion, this sort of self-help organization, like all their fucking money.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Wasn't Tom Cruise a Scientologist, or
I think he still is.
Is it a Scientologist?
Scientologist, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just think it's the most fascinating shit.
Yeah.
That there's still people like this dude was raised in a time where cameras existed.
And he was able to pull this off.
He was able to pull this shit off. Like, is that not brilliant?
That is. Yeah, that's why. Like, I mean, have you ever thought about like old crime movies? Like, I mean, you could go to like the 80s or like even the fucking Old West. Like, how easy it was to just like get away with crimes back in the day. It's crazy.
Yeah, they had no idea how to catch anybody.
Yeah, I mean, like even like the Wolf of Wall Street. Like if you try to do that now, they'd fucking find you with like technology and like
Yeah, they would just track your money.
yeah. But like you do that shit in like the 80s, shit. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you could get away with a lot of financial crime back in the day. I mean, you could also get away with a lot of just general crime. Like I remember one of the craziest kind of connections I have. It's a barely connection. It's almost not real, but I was in rehab with this guy, and he was telling me about his uncle. And his uncle was this guy named Dean. I'm not going to get too much into the names, because I don't want to put it out there in the world. But it's this guy, Dean. And he, there's this murder of this girl named Amy from Ohio from the 70s, right? This little girl, little kid, like maybe 11 years old.
Yeah.
And it was unsolved. And he was telling me, this guy in rehab was like, yeah, my uncle was a prime suspect. And he's like, I think he did it. I think my uncle was guilty of this crime. And they just didn't have the technology to convict him in the 70s.
That's crazy. Your own uncle.
Yeah, and he was telling me, he's like, I never met the guy really, because he had, after all that shit with the murder, like he never got convicted of it or anything. He never went to court. I don't think he was ever even like formally brought up on any charges at all. But he just immediately like packed up shop and moved out. And I did some personal research on the guy, and he moved to Key West, Florida, and started managing a Wendy's. And prior to me learning about any of this, I went with my family to Key West on vacation, and my mother and I went into a Wendy's because there's nothing to eat. Key West is like a party town. There's nothing to like just grab and eat. So Wendy's is super convenient. So you just went in to get some fries to have something in our stomachs, and got some fries from the place, whatever, didn't think about it. And I go to rehab a year later, and he's telling me all this, and I'm like, holy shit. Like, he manages a Wendy's in Key West. I Google it. There's fucking like one Wendy's in Key West. So I went to his Wendy's.
You're just like calling him out right now.
Yeah, like, I mean, if you're watching this and you listen to all the things I just said, you could connect the puzzle pieces and figure out exactly what I'm talking about. Because it's a pretty famous murder.
Yeah, I'm looking this shit up right now.
Have you found it?
No.
Okay, because I'm just by the names I gave, Dean and Amy, like you could find it pretty. Like Amy, Ohio, 1970. Like you could fucking find it. I didn't do a very good job of hiding what I was talking about.
It's all right. No, I mean, double jeopardy, right? Can't get charged twice. So
you never got charged once.
Oh well, I mean, you can't really go off of like family members that weren't like a witness.
No, I'm not buying the nephew's story. It's just that like I think he did it because my uncle seemed like my family told me he was a creepy guy. That's not worth a conviction. But there's this guy James Renner who gets a lot of flack because he does do some pretty outlandish things. But his whole thing is that he tries to solve cold cases as like a journalist. And he did a whole study on this case, and he was like, why not this Dean guy? Like, this Dean guy fucking probably did it. Like, I'm gonna send you some pictures after we record this, and I'm gonna show you this guy Dean versus the witness sketch of the killer, and it's the same fucking dude.
Oh my god.
And there's like a bunch of evidence of like, he was her teacher. He was in the area that she was abducted the day of the abduction.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like it's all the circumstantial shit is there. It's just nothing hard, no hard proof.
Yeah. You know what? Absolutely baffles my mind about crime? Well, like, this might get kind of dark, but like, mass shootings. You know what is crazy? That the United States largest, or not, I shouldn't say largest, but most deadly mass shooting is unsolved. There's no idea of any motive, any reasoning, or anything.
Yeah, you're talking about Vegas, right?
Yeah. And it's wild because like I like jumped down the rabbit hole, right? And like I was researching that shit and I was like, so the guy apparently was like a millionaire, right?
Right.
Because he like got all of his money from gambling. Well, a majority of it. Because his brother, right, they interviewed him and he was like, yeah, he like really set up like my life and my mom's life. Like he had most of the money and there's like no other reason for him to possibly like do anything like that. And it's just wild because it's just a cold case. I've heard like conspiracies and shit about how it was just like it was like a flare. It was just like a distraction to get like all the police to come to one spot while they like did other things. Or why like some other groups do other things. Like cuz there's like police chatter of that night where they're like, yeah, there's a second shooter at this fucking mall or whatever. And there's like videos. Well, I've seen videos. I haven't been able to find them anymore. But it's like videos of like shootings in the mall on the same day. And it's just like, it's kind of wild.
Yeah, but like even with all of that, like what's this guy's connection to any of that? And why would he do something that you basically know you're going to get caught and you're going to die?
Yeah, like there's no way out of it. Like it's a one-way ticket.
Yeah.
And like
that's bizarre, man.
The fact that like no one has sent out like an actual timeline. It's only been constructed most through like video cameras and people recording. I think the FBI may have put out a timeline, but it took them like forever to finally do it. I don't know. It's just crazy.
Well, I have seen the things of him, bringing bags up to his room.
Yeah.
Just like bag after bag after bag, just so many fucking suitcases. And it didn't set off any red flags because why would it? Just a guy bringing suitcases into a hotel, that happens all the time. But like he just had fucking bag after bag, day after day, and he would just go. I've seen that camera footage of he would just go and gamble. He had these
hours.
weapons being brought to his room, and they were being brought too. It's not like he was bringing them personally, every single one. He would have like people bring them to his room. So like one fucking, lobby boy gets like one like stoned lobby boy is like, oh, I wonder if this guy has any drugs in his bag I can steal or any like money. Like, and he's just like, holy shit, this is not what I expected.
Yeah.
Let's probably call somebody about this.
But you can't legally do that though. Unless there's like a real suspicion. Because you're going into a hotel. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess maybe
you're the lobby kid, right? You're just bringing up, bringing up fucking bags to guys' rooms. That's your job. Some hotel in Vegas, and you're bringing up like 6 bags to this guy's room on a cart. He's not there. and you're like, oh fuck it, I'm gonna check out what's in this bag, see if there's anything I can take, just because you're a fucking kid, and you find the first bag is just full of ammunition. You're like, that's crazy. Wonder if this guy's like a gun nut or something. You open up the second bag, it's full of ammunition. You're like, okay, well this is a lot. You open up the third bag, it's full of ammunition. You open up the fourth bag, it's full of guns. You're like, okay, well this seems unnecessary.
Is this guy trying to go to war with this hotel? Like, what is going on?
Like, and I'm not saying you should just go through people's shit just in case. Like, I'm not saying that's like the way to go about it. I'm just saying if that happened, like he took just from his perspective, he took such a giant risk with that.
Yeah.
Like it was his whole handling of how he did that. I mean, the fact that it got pulled off was just he was relying strictly on people minding their own business.
Yeah, just enjoying themselves.
Like, it was such a lackadaisical approach to something so horrendous.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. You know what's really fucked up though? Is after every tragedy that happens that's like videotaped, someone is gonna make a meme about it that day.
Yeah, that's the fucking world we live in, man.
What was some shit I saw? Like, I won't get into detail about like the offensive ones, but like after like so many like tragedies, like you see memes, and then like there was one I saw where like something tragic happened, and then it was like no one put out anything until like maybe like a day later, which was weird.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy that that's the world we live in? Where if somebody, a tragedy happens, a massive loss of human life, and nobody, makes it like a really fucked up joke about it until the next day, that it's like, man, that's we're doing good.
We're doing all right.
Good
that
job,
was a
people.
Wholehearted moment.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Yeah, it's like if a fucking nuclear bomb goes off in a city, like people are just gonna fucking ream on that shit. Like it is. It's fucking crazy that we live in a world like that where that shit happens. And then like, oh my god. It's fucking wild.
Do you think people did that before the internet though? Do you think like back in the 30s you hear about some crazy shit that went down, like, oh my god, this church shooting just happened and all these people got lit up? Do you think there was like people in bars somewhere like just like fucking joking about it the next day?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I mean, like, do you think I just find it fascinating that people are so quick to just like make horrible jokes, not like funny jokes, like because I think you can joke about tragedy effectively and it can be like actually a good healing mechanism. That's what I think is so powerful and great about humor. But people will just do it for the sake of being awful, and I find it kind of hard to believe that we just developed that as a species out of no place.
Well, I mean, you got to remember that the internet comes into play. You're just sitting behind a screen.
Yeah, but do you think
like,
the internet has made us that like fucked up?
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%. Because there's no face-to-face contact. There's no like reaction that you get. There's no like other dialogue than reading.
Right.
And or watching sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's like this shit, like if you go to someone and you say like, hey, fuck you, you're a piece of shit. You would much rather say that like online than go up to someone and say, hey, fuck you, man, you're a piece of shit.
Well,
You
yeah,
know what I
because
mean?
you're scared of their reaction because it's like, what is this guy? This guy might fight me. This guy might like start yelling at me in a public place. Online it's like there's zero consequences.
Yeah.
But more of what I'm saying is that this hypothetical of a shooting happening in the 30s before, like way before the internet, and guys in a bar that kind of read about it in their local newspaper. Like, do you think the internet has, obviously it's made us more fucked up and more desensitized, but like I that has to come from somewhere.
All right, think about it like this. Let me think of an example. So like, let's think of like, fucking Pearl Harbor just happened, right? Like it's in the 40s. Like there's no internet or anything, right?
Right.
I mean, do you think like people would be like walking into a bar and being like, "Hey, did you see those fucking sailors got sunk? Fucking idiots." I don't think people would be like that.
No, I guess not. Well, I mean, something more recent like September 11th. I don't know for sure, but just from the people like my parents and people that were around and kind of witnessed that and were around other people, it wasn't just like a New York thing. It was an American thing, and nobody's ever told me that it's like, oh yeah, people were making jokes about it. So I guess there is some truth to what you're talking about, that the internet, how bad it's gotten, has made discourse just so much harsher.
Yeah.
But then again, I think that back in the day, people were a lot less filtered in real life.
What do you mean by that?
Like in the 80s, that's semi-recent, but people were so much less filtered in what they said. They would, if they were thinking something, they just fucking say it. Like they weren't thinking about like, oh, I wonder how this would affect these people. I wonder how this would be interpreted. Like that's just not how they thought. They'd say like, man, that guy's a fucking loser. Man, that guy's fucking fat.
Yeah.
Look at it, like they'd see a homeless guy and be like, look at that fucking bum. Like they would just say
They just
things that
walk
came to their
over.
mind, and they wouldn't like filter them through this like, okay, well let me think about his situation, and maybe he got laid off of work, and he was on disability, and he had no other way to make any money, and maybe his wife just left him, and he's developed a drinking problem, and he doesn't know how to handle it, and nobody in his life is helping him. You didn't. I didn't live in the 80s, so I wasn't around, and I can't speak for this exactly, but it doesn't seem like people thought like that, and that was the thought process before words came out of their mouth.
Yeah. No, 100%. I mean, I feel like you could. I feel like that just ties back to the whole thing about, you know, being behind a computer screen and like talking to people IRL.
Yeah. It's bizarre, man. We live in a bizarre world where things don't seem real. It does seem like kind of a matrix reality.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to politics, you consume politics the same way you consume football.
Yeah. Carson, have you ever had like a moment where you physically just like I can't even really describe this. I've tried to, but I'm gonna try my best right now. Where it's like you almost feel like it's an outer body experience where you like look around and you just think that like none of this could be real. This could all just be made up. And like space, I don't know, think about space and like how fucking huge space is, and how small we are.
Well,
I
I
don't
think
know. Random.
I know what you're trying to say, but I do think about the idea that we don't know anything. Like that
Yeah.
I actually have to stop myself from thinking like that because I do it too much. Where I think about a problem. I think about a problem in the world, like for example, global warming. Global warming is something that I genuinely worry about pretty consistently in my life. But then I kind of, when I get too worked up about it, I'll be like, well, I mean, how do we even know what's going to happen? We don't know what's going to happen. We don't even know if any of this is real. Maybe the scientists are just bullshitting us. Maybe the sun's not even real. Maybe it's just a fucking screen put up by the aliens. Like, we can't prove anything, so why even try anything? Like, and it sends me down this loop where I'm thinking like, well, nothing can be proven, so what's the point?
Yeah. It's like the endless loop. You're in limbo.
I mean, well, we really don't know. We really don't know if... I don't know if you're real. You know, you're not sitting in front of me right now.
No, yeah. It's crazy. You could literally... You ever heard of the egg theory?
Egg theory.
Yeah.
I think I read a long Tumblr post about that a long time ago when Tumblr was still popping.
It's like the theory. It's like the theory of life.
Is it? I'm gonna try to quickly explain what I think it is, and then you tell me how right I am.
Okay.
I think isn't it like you live in every person's existence?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So, like, pretty much time is irrelevant. And I guess you would say the afterlife, where basically you are after you go through one life, you're almost like it's like you're reincarnated as a different person in any type of time period. And you slowly work up and you become everybody around you, or you have become every. It's so hard to explain.
No,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. It's that, throughout human history up to this point right now, every human being that's ever existed, you have lived their life. It's one soul that keeps getting reincarnated because time is not relevant in the situation at all. So it's just one soul that keeps interacting with itself because it's playing all these different characters simultaneously.
Yeah. So nothing is real, kids. I'm telling you.
Well, that's
Santa isn't real.
It's almost
the
a
leprechaun isn't real.
It's almost a hopeful theory of like, hey, we're all the same thing. We're literally all the same soul.
Yeah, that's why you should treat each other with dignity and respect.
Yeah, if you punch that dude in the face. Because you never know who you're hurting. Yeah, if you punch that dude in the face because he stepped on your shoe, then you're gonna have to live his life. And you're gonna get fucking punched in the face, and that's gonna suck.
Fucking sucked.
Oh shit! Shit! Well, shit. I think we'll probably end it on that because that's some crazy shit to think about.
Yeah, that's some stuff to have nightmares over. So.
That's some shit to talk about at your local high school basketball game and just freak people out.
Or just talk about at your local church.
It's like, do you know somebody here? No, I don't even live in this town.
From another country, like.
Yeah, no, I just travel around and to see what's popping.
I go to different Catholic churches and I preach why God isn't real.
By the way, any recently divorced women here?
You can hit me up on my WhatsApp.
That's like the least sexy thing of all time. You can hit me up on my WhatsApp. That's like a step above Kick. Oh my god.
Oh, dude, Kick was the shit back in the day.
Oh my god.
That's another topic.
When you're trying to get somebody to contact you off of Omegle.
Bro, Omegle is the fucking most wild shit.
Oh, shit, dude. It really is. It really is. Just talking to strangers who you don't know if it's like like you really don't know what's going on the other end of that computer.
Yeah. Dude, one thing, and I'm gonna leave it off on this, but this one time I was on Omegle, and I was just flipping through, and I was like 7 years old, right? And all of a sudden, I saw this guy hanging down like a corridor, and I got so freaked out because I thought it was just like a prank where someone was just gonna pop up and it was gonna be a jump scare. But thinking about it now, I don't know what the fuck happened in that room. But yeah, on that note.
Well, on that note, have a good day. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I really fucking enjoyed having you on, Thomas. This has been a blast.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate it. We got into a lot of great topics. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Doesn't matter what you comment. If you just comment, it'll be all right.
Yeah, anything you do where you interact, it drives traffic to the channel, and it's all helpful. So, subscribe to the Let's Start Dreaming YouTube channel. New episodes of this podcast come out every Tuesday. New episodes of the Let's Start Dreaming podcast with myself and Michael Gianelli come out every Wednesday and Sunday. Me and Mikey also have a new song out called 3 Day Weekend. I will put all the links to the streaming services to listen to that in the description below. And I think that's everything. Drink RC Cola, sway for president. Thank you very much, Thomas, for being here, and I will talk to you guys next week.
Yeah, 50 likes on this video, and Carson will shave all his body hair on camera.
That's true. I will.